Yeah, we're live. All right. Yes. I'm live with Multi, USA #1 boxer, boxing at the lightweight division. I've got nothing but respect for my little nephew, Keyshawn Davis. How you doing, Keyshawn?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing great, I should say.
1 second. That's my little girl. And this is the thing when you're doing live. 1 second.
It's all good.
You'll find out, brother. You'll find out.
No time soon.
You know what I mean? And I'm home alone today with my kids, but it's mad. Like tomorrow in the I don't know if it's the same in America, but in the UK, it's Father's Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's the same in America?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm saying, Keyshawn, like when we're looking on the things that you've done in your career so early, you've picked up multiple championships. Run down all the championships that you picked up, my friend.
Say it one more time.
Run down all the titles that you've won in the amateurs.
Woo. Since a junior, I've been winning the junior Golden Gloves, the Junior Olympics, the Golden Gloves, the Eastern National Qualifiers to qualify to get on Team USA. Went to USA Nationals to actually compete to get on the team. I'm a 3-time USA, actually I'm a 4-time USA National Champion. So keep being on the team each year. And I'm a world IEVA silver medalist. I'm a Pan American Games silver medalist.
Well, when it comes to the nationals, on the nationals, 8 times you won it?
Since a kid, I probably won it more than 8 times, probably like 15. But since I've been elite, if you just count the elite nationals, I would say I'm a Golden Gloves. I'm a Eastern, about 5 to 6 time national champion. Elite.
Ridiculous. So like, really base your style on, because like you're from Norfolk, Virginia.
Yes.
The same place as the late great multi-weight world champion Colonel Whitaker.
Yeah.
Like that is, to me, one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen. Is him.
Yeah.
And he's just up there as far as I'm concerned. He's up there as one of the greats. Like, you watch a lot of Colonel. What fighters do you watch like take bits from?
Right. How I break down fighters and how I go about fighting in my own way is I specifically look at each fighter that I want to look at, and I would take the best thing from them. Like Floyd Mayweather, I would take Floyd Mayweather, his mental games that he played, not so much his defense. I take Floyd Mayweather mental games and add that to my game. I would watch Shakur Stevenson, and I would take his defense and add that to my game. I watch Muhammad Ali in the ring. I take his footwork and put it into my game. I watch Terrence Crawford and how he fight. I take that switch that he has in the ring to where he has to turn it up, and I take that and I put that in my game. So basically, I study the best that they do and try to add it to my game. And if I feel like I have any flaw down the line, I will keep studying to fix that flaw and just basically almost mimic, but find my own within my game.
Okay. That's a lot. So you know that you watch a lot of tapes of these fighters?
Yes, I watch a lot of boxing. That's one of the reasons why I'm at this level now, because you got to learn. All the time is not learning in the gym, and I feel like you're holding yourself back if you just wait to go to the gym to learn something. No, be proactive. While you home sitting down, instead of playing the game, cut on a fight. At least cut on one fight or 3 fights a week. Try to learn something. Try to watch another fight, a new fight, and just keep getting better and just keep studying.
Right. Because like in the world games where you pick up the silver medal, right? Each time you fight this Cuban, you fought him twice already, right?
3 times.
It's 3 times. I've only seen
Yeah.
2 of the fights.
Yeah.
But each time you're fighting him, it's getting closer and closer and closer on the gap. No doubt, the Olympics is coming up now. Even though you turned professional, but because we're under a pandemic, like the US boxing team have allowed, because like they allow professionals to box in the Olympics now anyway, but they've made
Yeah.
they've made like special provisions for you to go back into it, because you've had 3 professional fights on very big cards. I gotta say, right? You've been on very big cards, like you've been on 2 Canelo shows, and you was out in Dubai when Carl Frampton, my guy, came second best to Jamal Hearing. He was a really cool guy, so I ain't bad to say that. But you boxed on that show, I'm kind of honored because I got to do the fight at ESPN Plus and to sing your praises. And the praises that I was singing only had to be the real stuff. Right, my brother from another mother, who is my partner in crime on the fight, is right, Baba Tundia Jai, just said all boxers should have their notepad and pens out. Keyshawn Davis is dropping jewels, right? Because he knows that you are actually dropping jewels, because you're telling people, the fact of the study and how important the study is. But like I was saying, each time you fight the Cuban, it's getting closer and closer and closer. Now, do you believe in your heart now that
Yeah.
when it's the time for you to go up against the Cuban, if you get drawn against each other, now will be a different scenario because you were younger then, now you're more mature. You're 22 now. You're 22 now, right?
Yes, and you basically said it. I was younger then and more mature, but yes, it's say it again.
Yeah, you were younger then. Do you think now that you know?
Oh yeah.
You know what he's gonna bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, when you always on the loser's end, you can only do nothing but get better. And I've been on the losers end 3 times now. And like you said, yes, I was younger when I was fighting him. I was in the amateur circuit, fighting the amateur circuit style, but trying to mix in my style as well. But now that we
Okay.
had a year layoff, and like you said, I got the chance to go pro. I left my element, hopped in a new element, and started off fantastic. I think better than people expected, and I lost hope in the Olympics and fight Eddie Cruz, and I was not thinking about that no more. I was thinking about eventually becoming a world champion, and I was just developing better as a fighter mentally and of course physically. But
Yeah.
now hopping back into my old element, it almost makes me feel like I'm unstoppable because I left that for better. I got better, and now I'm back, and it just shows me it's destiny as well. It raises my confidence because this didn't happen for no reason. It's a reason why I'm going back to the Olympics, and I'm gonna show the fans the reason.
Okay. So I know. Are you at Olympic camp now? What's the gameplay now? What's happening right now?
Right now, I've been in Colorado Springs, of course, in America. In Colorado Springs, it's the best state to train in, best city to train in America. Got high altitude. It's a nature state. It's a state to where you come to go outdoors. And it's great training out here. Shakur Stevenson have his training camps out here for his past fight. Terrence Crawford have his training camps out here. And one time Adrian Broner had his training camps out here as well. But I'm out here training with Team USA. Um, this is our 3rd week out here. We got 1 more week and about 3 more days of training in Colorado Springs until we go to Miyazaki, Japan. And once we get to Miyazaki, Japan, we're going to be there for another 3 weeks for a multi-nation training camp, training alongside about 6 different countries. And that's for 3 weeks. And then after that training camp, we'll be more than prepared to fight going into Tokyo, Japan. But basically, being out here in Colorado Springs is just the tip of the iceberg, you know. It's just the first training camp. It's just preparation to go into Miyazaki. And then Miyazaki is a whole nother training camp. So it's a lot of focus. It's a lot of lock-in time. It's a lot of dedication, especially being that we quarantined within. We can't do nothing, honestly. And that just make the road even easier for us, though, when it's quarantining and just staying focused and stuff like that. We're young, we're kids, we got a long life to live. 2 months of just locking in and staying focused for the rest of our lives is nothing. You know, it's something that we can do, we will do. And I feel like Team USA is going to perform the best they ever done this Olympics.
Okay, the best they've ever done, because like historically speaking, like 1976 was a standout year for the US boxing team. And 1984 was another standout year. That's the year where Conor Whittaker went to the Olympics. They had a really, really good team then. They picked up multiple gold medals. In the 84 Olympics, Evander Holyfield got a bronze medal. He actually should have been a gold, but he got disqualified in his fight against a guy called Kevin Barrett, like heavyweight. He hit him after the bell, so he got disqualified, and he ended up with a bronze medal. But that team was a standout team as well. But because you're going and you're boxing at lightweight, the standout guy in the 1976 Olympics who won the Val Barker Trophy was Howard Davis, and Howard Davis was an exceptional amateur. Unfortunately, he didn't really do much as a professional fighter, but he was exceptional, and that's a lot of pressure that you're putting on yourself, because the last time America won a gold medal at the lightweight division was a guy called Oscar De La Hoya in the Barcelona Olympics in 1992. So you're putting a bit of pressure on yourself here, my friend. But you know what? I like the fact that you're doing it because you're quietly confident, my friend. And that's what people need to understand with this young man. I spent some time with him when he was in Dubai and his family. And like sometimes people think confidence is cockiness. It's not. It's just that you have belief in yourself. So I like that. I like that a lot, my friend. Yes. What's that? We've got a couple guys who say this now. We've lost the brother. I think it was bad connection or something. Remember, we're live out to America from his training camp, and you know what? This is like the second great debate. The first one was my brother from another mother, Baba Tulia Jai. These things happen, and I'll just send him a message. Hopefully, he can jump back in, and Tundi will bring him back into the show, because our man with the cam, Gary Blake, he just got married the other day, so he's like living life somewhere else. I don't know exactly what he's doing. Click in. Yeah, I've just sent him a message. Yes, Bobby Wright. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? We just had Keyshawn Davis on. He was dropping some real good bars here and some gems. And unfortunately, thank you very much for the $4.99. But unfortunately, Prince Teddy, how you doing, my friend? Thank you and salute to you. But unfortunately, we've lost contact with him. I'll try and get hold of the kid right now to try and get him to jump back in on, because he was dropping some real good gems, and I didn't even get to ask him no major questions yet. But we shall see what happens. Yep, he's back in, ladies and gentlemen. It could, yeah, Keyshawn is maybe the connection, but people also have to realize that he's live in America from live So we're going to get these little technical hitches and all the rest of it. So yeah, Keisha, like who are the top guys in the division when you're going out in the Olympics that you're meant to be looking out for?
Honestly, of course, the Cuban, but that's like the main event fight. You know, that's the fight everybody's waiting for. But I would like to fight one other fighter again that I had already beat a unanimous decision. I would like to fight Armenia. His name is Batchkov. And he's actually signed under the company that you work for, Spencer. And he's just
Okay.
one of the physical, rough, strong mentality style fighters. And I got better for the first time that I fought him, just being in the ring with him. And I just want to do it all over again to show him that I can beat him worse this time.
Okay. 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 I know who he is. The MCK Global Fighter. I think he's 2-0, right? As a professional.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Babatunde Ajayi saying, please ask
I'm not sure what his record is.
Okay. Babatunde Ajayi has asked, please ask Keyshawn what a daily training session looks like. So, how's your daily training session look like, champ?
Right. Every day, Monday, let's say Monday, Tuesdays, it's 2-a-day sessions. We wake up 7:30 a.m. to weigh in. And then after 7:30 a.m., we have a training session at 9 o'clock. So we basically just wake up, weigh in, get some breakfast, and chill out before our 9 o'clock session. Our 9 o'clock session is a strength conditioning session. And
Okay.
our coach is named Jose. And he's one of the best strength conditioning coaches that I work with. I actually want to work alongside of him when I turn pro.
When you turn pro?
9 o'clock is our strength conditioning session. And then after 9 o'clock, we're, of course, when I turn pro. When I go back pro.
Yeah, exactly.
But so after the 9 o'clock session, we go back to the hotel where we staying in. Right now we're training in like a vacant. We training in the mall, but it's like a vacant Macy's. It's huge. They also got like the shooting Olympic sport in there also.
Okay.
And we go back to the hotel. We chill out until 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is our, of course, boxing session. And then, after 3 o'clock, whether I need to get work on my body, massage, or, just recovery after the 3 o'clock session. And then, after that shit, you train 2 times a day, you pretty much tired, So after that, we just chill in the hotel for the rest of the day, play games, watch movies. I like to color. I take a lot of phone calls, sometimes interviews, stuff like that.
Okay. So what kind of runs do you do? When you go running, what kind of running do you do, Keyshawn? Yo, bro, do you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I said, what kind of running do you do? I don't think the brother can hear us. Lost us again. Don't worry, he'll jump back in. Right. Prince Teddy says, please ask Keyshawn who are his favourite lightweight boxers from the UK. I will when he jumps back in. We'll just wait for that. And yeah, Uzi Tan said that Tundi's making too much money to be on the show anymore. Yeah, the brother's living lavish. No, it's not. It's a time. It's a time thing. Tundi be here for the fight alongs. Tundi be here for the fight is right. But he was just saying, Spence, you got too much people in your phone book. You might as well just go do this thing yourself because Tundi's commitments with Anthony Yard, and that is paramount. That's the first thing. You have to go with your first thing, and that's Tundi's passion, and it is also Tundi's first project that I have seen him grow from embryonic stages. So Tundi's like, you know what, Spence, you go do your thing as well. He's still here right now on the other end. He could jump in right now because he's actually orchestrating the whole thing. So Tundi's now the technical guy because Gary Blake, the man with a cam, he got married 2 weeks ago, and so he's doing these bits as well. But Tundi's here just helping out. No, this is Spencer's new individual show, and I'm here watching like a fan. Of course, Tundi's watching like a fan, but Tundi's the guy. Period. He's the guy. So hopefully, Keyshawn will jump back in. It's just these little teething problems because he's in from America. But I am grateful for the young man. Spent a lot of time with him when we was out in Dubai when he boxed out there. He boxed a gentleman from Ghana, Asheli, who's a decent fighter because imagine on his second professional fight, he's on Keyshawn's second professional fight, he's boxing a kid that's 10-0. So they're showing you the levels. And he was a sought after person to sign with because everybody was after this young kid to sign him. And he was training out in, shout out to sorry. Shout out to Tundi. This is Late Show 42. Shout out to Tundi. Funniest laugh on YouTube without a doubt. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you're talking about the Ghanaian guy that Keyshawn Davis fought, he was tough. He wasn't no joke. And you know what I mean, and Keyshawn came out on top and done his thing. Let's see where this young man is. For him to jump back in. Back in. And he's back again. Hopefully you got better link now, sir. I don't know. Mr. Davis.
Yep.
You're back. Yeah, it sounds a lot better now. Sounds a lot more clearer. Okay. Yeah. On your professional, on the professional fight, does it seem weird that you're going back into the amateurs, or did you always know that you're gonna have a couple fights for your own promotional company as well? So you're your own manager. That's kind of cool. You got your two brothers as well that are also boxing, undefeated pros who are also boxing in your promotional company, right? Be free, right?
Yeah.
Davis brother free boxing promotions that you're doing. Like, is that kind of pressurizing to you that you're actually, and this is not disrespect to your brothers, like even though your brothers and like you're the middle brother, like, but all eyes are on you because you're like the kind of standout star, but you're bringing your brothers through. Like,
yeah,
is that kind of pressure for you, brother?
Well, honestly, bro, when you make it to a certain level, it's always gonna be pressure. Mm-hmm. When I fought in the IBA World Championships, it was pressure. When I fought in the Olympic trials, it was pressure. When I fought my debut, it was pressure. It's always gonna be pressure with something, even when you feel like you've done it all. You know, even when you feel like, you know, it's always gonna be pressure. Something. You know, I was in this position for a reason, man. You know, I'm really a humble young guy. You know, I learned how to talk because I knew it was part of my job. I was really quiet at first and stuff like that, but when it just comes down to pressure, I just know how to deal with pressure. I don't really feel pressure because at the end of the day, I know I can fight. I know I can fight, and that's what matters when you know for itself. And that's the only thing I focus on is fighting, and everything else is just gonna fall in line.
Okay. So, God willing, you come through, you win the Olympic gold medal. Because you've already turned pro, you can't get a better deal than we've already got. So I know you going to the Olympics is more of a personal thing for you right now.
Yes, yes. I would say I wouldn't really call it personal though, bro. How I think about going to the Olympics, I'm really thinking as it like a business, you know. Starting out when I turned pro, I was mainly focusing on just building myself as a fighter, and getting that fan base before just jumping into a world title. So I could come to promoters with respect of I'm coming to the table with something. Understand?
Yeah.
So now that I'm going to the Olympics, it basically speaks for itself. That's nothing. I'm thinking about it as nothing but promotion. Olympics is nothing but promotion, and especially being that fact that I was the Olympic hopeful that's coming back to the Olympics, making history for USA boxers because it never been done, making history going to the Olympics because we going to the Olympics in a pandemic that was postponed a year ago that never been done. And then I got another chance of making history of winning a gold medal that haven't been done for us in 17 years. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm honestly just, grateful to be in this position. And this position, it really can't get no better than this.
Wow. So like, what exactly is your hope like after Olympics? Because when you pick up that gold medal, how would you like to see the progression of Keyshawn Davis?
My hopes is, I want people to really understand Keyshawn. I want people to really know my story. I've been getting big interviews by Sky Sports. They said they want to keep up with me through the Olympics. The Olympic Channel, NBC Sports, a lot of big networks, Washington Post, that have been interviewing me, and I've been telling them my real story. And basically, I'm just a strong advocate for mental health.
Okay.
I felt Ryan Garcia, and I felt Tyson Fury, with the problems they shared with the public about their mental health, and I know that it's not hard. I know it's not easy to do, um, because I'm a fighter that comes from a mental institution, and about a few years back, it was only about 4 years ago, I was in there, and I made it this far, and I'm just a strong advocate for mental health,
Well,
saying that you can, when you actually put your mind to it, even
so you're saying that you was in a mental institution a few years ago.
yeah,
That's I commend you for coming out and speaking about this.
yeah,
Would you like to elaborate on that first, please, brother?
yeah, of course. About when I was 18 years old, um, I would say when I was 17, I had moved out of Norfolk, Virginia, to live in Alexandria, Virginia, to train with the Olympic coach Kay Karoma and alongside Shakur Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went there, it was a lot of pressure on me because my big brother had stopped boxing. My little brother is looking up to me, and basically the family business DB3 is all on me at 17 years old. It wasn't like it wasn't like all boxers is fighting together. It's like, Keyshawn, you got to hold it down for us. And I started to become very much overwhelmed. You know, I didn't really know what to do or how to go about it. All I did was move out of my city, and I was just overwhelmed. New school. I was supposed to get homeschooled, didn't get homeschooled. I was in a new school, new environment, new coach. I just couldn't handle it at the time at 17 years old, to the point where it got so bad. My counselor in school recognized my behavior, and she advised my sister that I was staying with at the time to take me to a hospital. The hospital evaluated me, and my mother called me on the phone, of course, crying, saying that I would have to go to a mental institution. I get there, I'm there for 7 days, and I get out. I don't know if y'all celebrate this holiday, but I get out on Halloween,
Yeah, we
October
celebrate.
31st.
October
Yeah,
1st, we celebrate.
October 31st. I get out on Halloween, and I was just one of them guys. Of course, like I basically lost my mind. In the mental institution, they had everybody on this medication that I had to kept using even when I left for about 3 months down the line. So I just say that just to say I was a fighter that literally, I could say, lost my mind. Like, I was literally a fighter that had to find myself all over again. You know, not in the ring, but as a person before I started to excel in the ring. And once I found myself, I basically never lost again. I could say that I don't battle with mental health right now, but I feel the people that talks about this, because it's not easy to talk about. Um, and in the Olympics, going back to your question, in the Olympics, I just want people to understand me, understand my story, where I came from, because this, honestly, I really feel like I'm a success story. Making it on the Olympic team is success to me. Making it on Team USA before the Olympics even came around is success to me. Winning, going to Bulgaria and winning the Stranger tournament, just some local tournament in Europe somewhere, is success to me, because where I came from, I was never supposed to even make it this far, and I just want the whole entire world to understand me, and to know that if you really want to do something and you really put your mind to something, you can do it, but you can also do it to a level that nobody expected.
Yeah, Karma Shireen has just said, I'm happy people around him were able to recognize the signs to get him some help. Thank you for sharing. It's pretty deep, and also I got to commend you because you're only a young kid. You mean you're a young man. You're not like, and you're not, for you to come out with that, like Nick Hammer just says, massive props to Keyshawn. M says it takes bigger balls to talk about this than getting into the ring. Definitely got yourself a fan here. Respect. I'm telling you, that's amazing because you know what we do usually with people who are suffering from mental health, especially like from my generation, we're like, yeah, let's toughen it up. We got to tough it out. We got to tough it out. But when we're seeing a young person like yourself come out and speak about this, it's only going to encourage other people to feel like, well, if this young man, Keyshawn Davis, this hot shot from America, this Olympic hopeful, this undefeated professional fighter to come and talk about it, and maybe I could talk about it. So you know what I mean?
Yes, man. And
a lot of people
honestly,
on there saying that's very well done, man.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody that supported me, man. And I honestly, that's honestly my goal. I want people to start coming out and talk about things like this, because people are so quick to hide it. You know, as I was. And of course, it's the right time, and you gotta wait until you're ready. But like I said, I'm a strong advocate, and I want to be that person that people can look up to in any way.
Yeah.
But when it just comes to being successful, when you feel like that you can't, or when you feel like everything is just lost, you still can do it. And I just want to be that person that people can look at and they say, no, if Keyshawn did it, I'm gonna do it. Or let me reach out to Keyshawn to see how he did it. Or let me just try to do something along the lines of Keyshawn, or just something like that. I just want to be a strong advocate for a lot of people, not just for kids, for adults, or for anybody that can take on to my story.
Okay. Well, what I'd like to know, Keyshawn, is like, well, how did you do it, brother? How did you do it? How did you like get from being in that position to to kind of like mental health? I mean, the word health is heal. So how did you manage to heal yourself, bro?
A lot of support, bro. As you can see, I come from a family that really supports. You see this in Dubai. You see when my mother was. You see my mother was with me. You see her friend was with her. I had my coach alongside of me, of course. I had the people that I was working with, but if you just pay attention to me and my mother and how I bring my mother along things, how it kind of give you an idea of how I was brought up. We was brought up family oriented.
Yeah.
So when that happened, it was a lot of support, not just from my family, but also from my counselor that I still keep in touch with. And that's honestly what I can say is just really support, bro. Because I had to go through it alone, and I could say like an outlet that I had was of course the mental home. That was like a week of nothing to worry about. You know, it took me away from my life into just worrying about me, not worried about taking on the family burden, not worried about showing my little brother the ways to go. But that week just gave me a week just to reset. And once I reset outside the institute, it was just support and just living it day by day. Keep going to the gym, which was another outlet for me. Keep going to the gym. Keep my mind busy and never let it settle, because once it's settled, that's when all the thoughts start. You know, just keep my mind busy. Go to school, go to the gym. When you get home, read, write, go to sleep. It's always I had to do something. And I just took it day by day, and month by month, um, eventually I got off the medication. I really eventually started refining myself. I eventually got on Team USA, started traveling, started meeting new faces, meeting new people, learning how to talk, being comfortable in front of the camera and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nick Hammer said, definitely, it's a lonely world without family.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
important was your family when you were going through your trials and tribulations, my friend?
Shoot, my family was a big part of the reason why I got through it. My family was the ones that was visiting me in the home. My family was the ones that was hurting with me, and they played a huge part of me getting back healthy. And they, I could say, my sisters, Chantel, Shadice, my mother, Wanda, my two brothers, Keon and Kelvin, shoot, all the way down to my aunt, Sheena, everybody played a part in that. And like I said, they one of the reasons why I'm here today.
Okay. Prince Teddy says, Keyshawn, how would you rank Javonte Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez? How would you rate those
Okay,
guys? Like, what order would you put those guys?
okay, I'm gonna just talk about their skill and their ability. That's how I'm gonna rank them. So who I feel like got the most skill and the most talent is Javonte Davis.
Okay. Is
Okay, he's
because
number one on my
Davis as
list.
well? Is that why?
No, no favoritism here. No. But yes, of course, I say Javonte Davis with the most skill and the ability. The second person on my list, I would have to give is between Devin Haney and Teofimo. But I would have to give it to Devin Haney when it comes down to skill and ability. Because ever since he was professional, you never seen him struggle with a fighter. Ever. And I'm not saying and matter of fact, like I said, you never see him struggle with a fighter. And every fight that he won was a clear victory. It was never no confrontation or nothing like that. Now, not talking back on Teofimo, he's a great fighter as well.
He got stunned in his last fight in the 10th round by Jorge Linares. He did get stunned at the end of the round,
Yeah, he got
which is
stunned, but
pretty
at the
rare
end of
because
the
it's
fight,
not going to
everybody,
happen.
yes, he got stunned. We all seen it, but at the end of the fight, we all know who won the fight. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
that's what I mean right there.
clearly.
But Teofimo, we
Yeah,
see him struggle with Nakatani. We see him struggle with
yeah,
Nakatani.
yeah.
We also see Teofimo get hit with a lot of shots in the later rounds fighting Lomachenko. And that's why I feel like Devin Haney just have a little bit more skill and ability. Not saying he'll win the fight if they would ever fight, but I just feel like he got more skill and ability. So I would give it to Devin Haney number 2, Teofimo number 3, and Ryan Garcia number 4.
Okay. And if Shakur, because eventually he will move up to lightweight division. If Shakur was in that division, where would you rank Shakur Stevenson?
And of course, it's not nothing biased and nothing like that. In boxing is get hit. I mean, boxing is hit and not get hit,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
all know who do that the best. So I have to put Shakur Stevenson number 1.
Okay, okay. Linares having some work. Is what's that? Karma Shireen. She's a regular on our show. She's always throwing in questions, and she said that Linares had him some work. Um, I don't think Linares did. I thought Linares was putting one shot down the pipe. That was it at the end of the round. Um, and
Yeah.
I think Keyshawn Davis answered that pretty correctly when he said like, yeah, he gave him that work. I don't think he did. He gave him one shot.
It was a hell of a fight. It was a hell of a fight. It was a hell of a fight. You know, I ain't gonna base that. I'm not saying you are, but I'm not gonna base that off the one shot. You know, it was a hell of a fight. Linares was there to fight each round. Devin Haney had something to worry about, and
Yeah.
Devin Haney was just spectacular in that performance to where he won every round. You know, I know if he would have slacked off one of the rounds, Linares would have took it probably by the long shot. You know, but Devin Haney didn't. He didn't slack off.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily for Linares, he don't got that power like Tank or even Teofimo. But
Yeah.
let's say if he did, it would have been a totally different fight. You know?
Yeah, but I think if
but
it
all
did,
credit to both fighters, you know, it's a great fight.
I think Devin Haney, if he was fighting any of those other two guys, he'd have fought a different approach. He would have fought the same way. And it was more to the fact that you're dealing with an old crafty pro, the freeweight world champion. Later rounds, he got caught with a shot. Wowie. He didn't get floored by it. He got caught at the right time, and it is what it is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It was honestly, when he go back and look at it, if he already did, but when I go back and look at it, I see that it was like a inexperienced mistake. You know, he got a little lackadaisical at the end of the round, and he got caught with a few shots. He tried to shoulder roll it. I could see that his shoulder roll wasn't tight, why those punches slipped through. And he didn't make that mistake again. You know, it was just one of them. It was just a learning experience, basically. Just like for Teofimo, when he was getting caught with a lot of them punches at the end of the round, just like when Ryan Garcia got dropped, and just like with Tank when he used to miss weight all the time. It's all fighters just go through a learning experience, you know, and fans just gotta understand that, you know, fighters is never gonna be perfect.
100%. 100%. What's that? All right, we go. Yeah. PGH Big Dog says, put these in order of priority and importance. Legacy, fame, money, belts. In your order, how does Keyshawn Davis rate these things?
Of course, legacy. My legacy starts with my story before anybody knew me in boxing. And like I said, just making it this far is success for me. And that's part of legacy. So of course legacy is the number one, of course. Money. I'm a businessman. Money is comes right behind legacy. If you look at, it's a lot of fighters. I ain't gonna put no fighters out there right now, but a lot of fighters that was great champions left the game with no money, but a lot of legacy, which doesn't make sense. And that's not that's not a road that I want to go down. So money is number two, of course. Belts come right behind legacy. You know, if you, and I say that because I'm gonna just keep elaborating on each part.
That's cool.
You know, belts is number three for me because if you, like I said, I'm a businessman. I think business first. And if you look at these YouTubers, you know, if you look at these, like I said, these YouTubers making all this money, their first professional fight, their first fight ever, you know, obviously belts is getting kind of worked down, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I chose money before belts. So belts is number three. You can't have a good legacy without belts. And then, of course, fame. Like I said before, I was a quiet person at first. I had to learn to talk to cameras. I had to learn all this stuff that y'all see me doing now. I had to learn this, you know? So I don't really want fame, but I do want to reach out to a lot of individuals, you know? Okay. So I kind of want to find a balance to where I just want to be like a people's champion, you know? I want to be like, you know, I don't want to be like a celebrity where he acts like a celebrity, you know? I want to be like a people's person. I want to be like, oh, that's just Keyshawn. But everybody knows me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel like I'm this big celebrity that's hard to get in touch with. You know, I still want to feel like a normal human being. You know, so fame, of course, is last for me.
Okay, fame's love. Nick Hamer, sorry, Harmer says, a wise head on young shoulders is Keyshawn Davis.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Karma Shireen says there are too many belts, one belt per weight class, and fix the rankings to what's that? To determine interims. I kind of get it to the extent, but unfortunately, the sport has evolved. It's evolved so much. We have long past the dates where we had 8 divisions and 8 world champions, and that was it. Those days are finished now, right? Now it's like they make a belt for a TV network, right? So that's how it goes. This is how the game is
Yeah,
being, right?
yeah,
But ending of the day, the cream always rises to the top. So if you're the best, no matter how many other multiple world champions there are, if you're the best and the people know that you're the best, then it's undeniable. And the only true way of doing
exactly.
that is to fight the other champions. And I can see that inside of you, like, you don't business. You want to fight everybody right now. I know this. So this is the great thing that we're getting to see it from the beginning. And not only that, but in you speaking about the personal demons that you've had to encounter. And you know what I mean? And I say this a lot of times, like there's so many times when we go through things in life that we're not being buried, we're actually being planted. And I know that I bear witness to see you being planted. And I'm witnessing right now the photosynthesis of the rain and the sun and the universe and nature, seeing this little young seed grow. So to me, that's an honor. To say like I'm getting to see that right now, because in years to come, in 40 years from now, if I'm still on the planet, I count my blessings. But in 40 years from now, I could turn around and say, yeah, man, remember I was telling you guys about Keyshawn Davis, and this is one of his first real internet things, and he jumped on our show, Salmon for Sales, the Great Debaters, because all you're gonna do is grow. If you just keep that level head and you keep on training the way that you keep on training. I remember when you turned pro, there were loads of people after that signature. Loads. Loads of big, a lot of guys have been throwing big bucks around and all the rest of it, loads. And you decide to say, you know, it's nice, but I'm gonna get a team of advisors. You know what I mean, I'm gonna get a team of advisors, which I know one of your guys who's advising you is a cool guy, and I'm gonna do it myself. And for a young man to do that, that is very brave, but it's also supremely confident.
Yes, man. And I said earlier, you know, I know I can fight, and I know the business is changing to where now you see a lot of these fighters getting 3 fight contracts and stuff like that. And I knew that I was this highly talented amateur coming out of the amateurs that everybody wanted to watch. Everybody was curious about how he was going to fight, and I knew that. So I basically used that to my advantage. Okay, just put me on your card. Let me show you what I can do. You know,
Okay.
I trusted my abilities, and I know you're going to trust in me after you see me fight. And, I just put my confidence to the test. I put my talents to the test. And honestly, my debut, I surprised myself,
Why?
because that's basically where it all started. I can tell you a story. After the fight, of course, Shakur was there. Terrence Crawford was there. Um, and after the fight, I was in the VIP section, and I was like, I feel like I did good, but I feel like I could have done more. Shakur was like, bro, I don't know what you talking about. That was great. I didn't get to watch the fight yet. And I said, you sure, bro? He said, don't worry about it. Terrence Crawford in the bathroom right now. When he get out of the bathroom, he'll tell you. 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes go by. Terrence come walking up to me like, yo, bro, give me a big dap. He was like, yo, you ready? He said, you ready. You don't gotta get built up or nothing. He said, you ready. About 4 or 5 more fights, you can get a world title. I
Wow.
said, damn. I said, damn, Terrence. I said, that was my debut, bro. Like, he was a bum. I was supposed to do that. He said, no, bro, how you looked. You waited for your shot. You didn't rush anything. You landed shots. You seen the shots. Your defense was great. He said, Keyshawn, you're ready. So once he said that, We had a small conversation. He went about his business. I sat down in VIP section, and I started watching my fight. And everything that he said that I did, I seen, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I look like that. Like I can't believe I look that much of a professional when I was never a professional. I just surprised myself, and I knew after that pro debut, I could stay independent basically as long as I want to.
Okay. So I see your mum up in the camp with you when we was out in Dubai. How close is that relationship? Because like your mum's there, like she's your biggest supporter. I'm at the fight and I'm hearing your mum's voice over everyone else's voice. She's like, I'm seeing Coach Tyler, I'm seeing your coach, and like she's telling Coach Tyler what to do. It's like your mum's very, very passionate. Like how important is mums in the whole game? How important is she?
Whew, my mother, man. My mother is a fighter herself.
Okay.
My mother, she was never a boxer, but I could say she was an athlete. Back in the day when she was playing basketball. She had a full ride scholarship to Penn State University, and being that she didn't have the support, she didn't take the scholarship to go into Penn State University, a full ride scholarship.
Okay.
So I'm saying that to say that she knows what it feels like to be an athlete. She knows how to compete on a high level and stuff like that. So never expected for us to become boxers. We became boxers when I was 9 years old. My little brother was seven. My older brother was 11. And ever since then, she been there. She's familiar with the sport. She sits down and watches boxing when I'm not home, when I'm not even talking to her, when just on regular days. She sit down and actually watch boxing. She likes boxing. So of
Okay.
course, when it's time for her sons to fight, it's through the roof. And my mother been, in terms of support, my mother been phenomenal. We didn't grow up in a rich family. We grew up, as a kid, I didn't feel it, but being adults now, we grew up poor. And she used to take us to national tournaments on her last. Like she couldn't go because she didn't have the money to go. She used to spend the last of her money, didn't know how we was going to eat when we came back from the tournaments. But she still made sure that we went to those tournaments. And just stuff like that, you cannot take for granted. You can never take support for granted, but your mother specifically, And even if it wasn't that, it's your mother. And that's just how I was raised. It's your mother. You gotta care for your mother. Everybody comes from a mother. Whether you're a male or a female, you gotta come from a woman. And a mother is the only person that can do that for you. So you just you gotta give back to people. But when you talk about your mother, you just gotta treat them with a different type of respect. And that's why you see her alongside of me, how she is, and you know, as a mother, she support how she support.
Yeah. 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 Well, you know what, Keyshawn? I'm really, like I said, I'm really looking forward to the Olympics. What date does it start?
The Olympics starts July 23rd. My weight class fights on the 27th.
Okay, and so I'll be looking forward to the draw. Have you ever been to Tokyo before?
Say it again.
Have you ever been to Tokyo, Japan before?
Oh no, I never been. And I was just telling people that like I got an opportunity to go to Dubai. I never been to before, and then Tokyo, like all in 1 year. That's unexpectedly. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I think what was it? The last Olympics. The last Olympics
Rio, Rio.
in Tokyo. No, the last Olympics in Tokyo. I think it
Yeah.
was I think it was the '64 Olympics Tokyo, I believe, when Joe Frazier won the gold medal at heavyweight. I think it was. Is it? Yeah, because the '68 Olympics was in Mexico when George Foreman won the gold medal. So yeah, that's a long time ago, my friend.
Yeah.
Right, right. That is a very very long time ago. That's 50 odd years ago. So for you to, yeah, 64. Thank you very much, Nick. Right. So remember, I'm doing this for head top, Nick. I'm doing this for my head top. So yeah, it is. That is a very very long time ago. For you now to be out there, and that was a special team, the '64 Olympic team for America. But I'm saying like for you to be out there and to go out there and to represent your country in the, it's an exciting time because the world, that is a massive world platform. Like over 1 billion plus people are going to be watching. So, Stamina for Sale just put this up. So, July 27th, Keyshawn Davis fights in Tokyo, Japan in the 2021 Olympics. And that's crazy because I didn't think that you were going to go back into the amateurs because I see that you set as a pro. But it's like, I'm so looking forward to this, my friend. Right. Thomas Ren says, bring us home some gold, Keyshawn. I'll be watching and cheering you on. You're getting some support out here. Lastly, somebody asked me, like, what do you think of the UK lightweight fighters? Because we've got quite a few.
Thank you y'all for y'all support, man. Thank y'all.
Yeah, Keyshawn. One of the last things, because it's mainly a UK audience, but now we've got you. It's going to be a global one. We're saying somebody asked me earlier, what do you think of the UK lightweights at this present moment?
I love Pat McCormack. I love Ben Whitaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
The camera was playing up there. All right. Well, you know what, Keyshawn? All I can say is I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah. The UK lightweights, the only one that I know is Luke McCormack. He's in my weight class.
Okay.
I think he's a good fighter. I think the brothers, when they turn pro, they.
The line's playing up a bit, but don't worry about that.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, go on. Say that again, sir.
All right. I wanted to say, the lightweight UK fighter, his name is Luke McCormack, and he's in my weight class. And I can say about the two brothers, Pat and Luke McCormack, when they turn pro, they're going to be a problem. They got great boxing ability. They've been on this international amateur circuit for years before me. And they got power. They're going to be knocking guys out. Like, if they get moved right in the professional games, I think as for the UK fighters coming up, I think they got the most potential, being that they brothers and they both can fight. I also give respect to Ben Whitaker. Ben Whitaker is a hell of a boxer. He's a hell of a boxer. I can say this because USA doesn't have a 178, but I think he's going to be able to win gold in the Olympics, as well as Pat McCormack. I can't say Luke because he is my weight class.
Yeah.
Well, I can't actually, Pat McCormack got a great fight between him and my stablemate, Delonte Johnson.
Delonte Johnson
sparred Pat.
Did you spar a lot with Delonte Johnson? Yes. Delonte Johnson is a very good fighter.
Oh, yes. Yes. Delonte Johnson. I think Delonte Johnson is a better boxer than Pat McCormack. But I just think, just going back on the UK fighters, y'all got great fighters. Y'all got some great fighters. And once they turn pro, the fans, the fans gonna love them. I really feel like the fans gonna love them. I love the UK fighters.
Okay. Well, like I'm saying, we're touching in on the hour now, and it's been a massive pleasure to have lightweight hopeful from the USA. Keyshawn Davis up on the show. Massive pleasure. Undefeated professional fighter as well. Let's not forget that. And I'm so looking forward to it. Stamina for Sales put it out there again. Remember, Keyshawn Davis will be fighting. That's going to be shown in the UK on BBC and on Sky Sports as well. But Keyshawn Davis will have his first Olympic fight on the 27th of July in Tokyo, Japan. And we're going to be looking forward to be watching you, supporting you, my friend. I know I'm just honored that you opened up in the way that you did. And I want to tell people that this is not, I've spent time with this young man when we was out in Dubai. And what you got right now, with how we're speaking right now, is exactly who he is. He's not trying to sell no hustle. And what's that, 84 boxes, they were looking forward to the journey. Damn the says, thank you for joining us, Keyshawn, and sharing your great story. And it was a great story. And you know what? All I got to do is keep on telling you, just keep on pushing forward. You know the rules, put God first. You can never come second. And I love the fact that you honor your mother. I love the fact that you honor your mother. Nick Harmon says, smash the like button on your way out, 100. I'm going to say thank you for everyone for joining me on here. We didn't even push this so hard. But I know like when it goes out, the numbers will start building up as well. Share this. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Stamina for Sale YouTube channel. We're going to bring you more great content. We're going to be looking forward to seeing how Keyshawn gets on. And hopefully, when you win the gold medal, you got to jump back on so we can see you and you can have the same USA top on, but this time you're going to have a gold medal around your neck. My friend, we salute you. Thank you for joining. This is Spencer Fearon. I'm out with the great debaters. Thank you very much. Nice one.